quickly giving you a high-level overview of what SpokePhone is. SpokePhone is a feature-rich soft phone developed for Twilio. You may have heard a lead or customer ask about, how do I transfer calls from Flex to my back office? Or do you have a cloud phone system for all my employees to replace my Cisco, Avaya 8x8, or any other back office phone system? Or even, I'm installing Flex for my call center, but what are you going to do about replacing the desk phones for the rest of my business? SpokePhone provides this feature-rich phone system to replace traditional PBX and move the back office communication into the cloud. So how does it all fit together in the Twilio ecosystem? Well, if you think about Flex as the front office tool for your contact center agents, then Spoke is the back office tool for every other employee. And together, Flex and Spoke bring end-to-end communications on Twilio. Flex for the front office and Spoke for the back office. Spoke supports both voice and text channels and can be installed on Windows or Mac computers, including Android and iOS mobile devices. In today's webinar, we're going to show you how to configure call groups, how to set up routing, and how phone numbers work to route calls to either people or different hunt or call groups. The topics we'll be covering is setting up call groups for IVR and direct routing calls to teams of users, specialists, or individual DDIs, managing your Twilio numbers in Spoke and assigning groups or individuals to those numbers, and also how to verify non-Twilio numbers so Spoke can use them as outbound ANIs. So what are call groups? Call groups, sometimes known as hunt groups, are used to offer calls to teams of people rather than individual persons. Call groups can have individual calling rules, including greetings, voicemail messaging, and different forwarding options. This ensures teams can respond to their calls in the most efficient way. So I'm going to pivot and show you how to set up a call group, how it works, and what rules you can apply. Just before you do, I'm going to open my SpokePhone application, and I want to show you your internal tab is your company loaded on your SpokePhone account. This can be a combination between users or call groups, right? The individual user, we show availability for that user, but a call group, if you look at my customer support, premium customer support standard groups, you can see it's telling me there's 6 people skilled to take calls for this group, but only 4 people are available. And if you click on these ones, you can see who is skilled for this call group, right? But then you can also conference or call this group directly. So any call group you create will appear on the internal tab because internal is your company. This is users, call groups, conference room, or SIP devices that you load to your SpokePhone account. So let's pivot to the Spoke admin portal. So I'm logged into my company in the Spoke admin portal, and there's call groups on the left menu, and there's manage call groups. So firstly, let's just go ahead and set up a call group, right? So I'm going to use the add group button to set that up. I'm going to call it mid-market sales team. I'm going to say next. And now I get my options, right? So let's go ahead and set up our first rules. So the top section here is, who do you want to skill for this call group? So who should get calls if a customer phones this group? Because I created the group, I'm immediately in this group, but let's add a few more folks. So I'm going to use the add button, and I'm going to add Chan, and I'm going to add Sarah. So I'm going to add 3 people to this call group. Okay, so now we have 3 people skilled for this group. So let's look at our calling rules. How long do callers wait in total for someone to pick up? So this is the timeout for your call group. How long should we ring this group until we move on to the next logical step? Let's put this to 30 seconds. Okay. For the folks skilled for this group, what's the offer pattern? Do we want to ring everybody at the same time when a call comes in? Or do we want to perform a round robin delivery routing, similar to a call center. Go to the available person. If they don't pick it up, go to the next, then go to the next, and so forth, instead of phoning everybody at the same time. I'm actually going to select this option. And then while I select this option, let's go back. And do you see the call first on the users you skilled for? I'm going to only enable me, which means if a call comes in to this group, the system is always going to phone me first. If I don't pick it up, then it will look for Chan or Sarah, see who's got the highest idle time, and deliver the call to the person with the highest idle time. And how long do we want to wait for someone to pick it up? Let's say 10 seconds. Because our timeout is 30, we've got 3 people, so it's 10 seconds per person before it goes to the next logical step. Right, so what is that next logical step? What happens if no one picks up? Do we want to send it to voicemail? Do we want to send it to another call group? Or do we want to send it to an external number? I'm going to send this to voicemail. Okay, what voicemail message should play? I'm just going to play the spoke default that comes with the product, which is Twilio text to speech. And if someone leaves a voicemail for that call group, do we want to notify someone in email? Yes, we do. So let me put in my email address. Okay, that's better. And let's say save. Right, so now we have our call group, mid-market sales team. Let's quickly pivot back to our application and see if that group appeared within our internal tab. Yep, mid-market sales team, 3 out of 3 people available. Folks in this group is Leon, Chan, and Sarah. Great, so we have our call group, but now we need to link a phone number to this call group, okay? So I'm going to go to my phone number section on the left, and I'm going to say manage phone numbers. Now all the numbers in your Twilio account will appear within this section, and you can see there's different icons. If I see a Twilio logo, it means that number is not configured for Spoke. It's probably configured to one of your Studio Flows or Webhook or somewhere else in your Twilio account. If I see the Spoke logo, it means this number was activated on Spoke, and it's pointing to the Spoke TWIML app within your Twilio account. But this is all the numbers in your account. So let's go find a number that we want to assign to this call group. I think I've got this one that's assigned to me currently. I'm going to reassign this one. So I'm going to click edit. And where it says assign to me, I'm just going to click on me. And I'm actually going to find our call group. So mid-market sales team. Perfect. Let's select. So now that team is selected, and I'm going to say save. Right, so now a customer, if they call this number, then the call should deliver to that group. Chan, do you mind being my customer?
Sure, no problem.
Can you phone this number? It's 727
Okay.
378 9475.
Dialing now.
Thank you. So you can see a call is coming into the mid-market sales team, the customer, Chan Kim, and this is the number that Chan phoned. I can accept the call, place the customer on mute, place the customer on hold. I can even change my audio settings and device during a call. If I want to, this is to change my audio settings, right? So maybe I want to change my speaker, microphone, or just my ring notification. However, under audio, there's also all the devices linked to my account. So I've got a desk phone and I've got a mobile. If I want to, I picked up this call on my PC. I can move this call from my PC to my mobile just by clicking on my S10, right, which is my Samsung device. The call will actually move to my mobile. I can transfer the call. This is for internal transfer. You get a transfer button. I can call transfer. be nice and announce, then transfer, or I can even send it to someone's voicemail. I can also conference folks into my call with the add to call button. We know calls is being recorded because our company has recording turned on, and I can add tags into this call if I want to. Right, so that's coming to that mid-market sales team. Let's disconnect the call. So now next, let's take that number back and point it to my user account, and I'll show you how that works. So I'm just going to edit this number again, reassign it from mid-market back to myself. And save changes. Perfect. Jan, do you mind phoning that back?
Yep.
So now that should show it's coming directly to me because now it's assigned directly to me. Yep, call to your DDI, right, and customers Chan. So you can see how you can put numbers either directly to you, showing calls coming to you, to a call group, showing calls coming to a call group. If you use Studio or even just enable extension dialing on your flows, it will even show you extension coming to your extension. Right, so that's how to set up numbers and link them to specific call groups. Now, if you don't use Studio for your IVR build, you can use the call group section to build a IVR through SpokePhone, but it's only a single tier IVR, option 0 through 9. So if you go back to call groups, manage call groups, you can see there's caller presses 0, 1, 2, 3. So let's edit our call group, our new one, the mid-market. And you can see at the top here, enter an IVR key. I'm going to put in 3, save changes. So now reception is 0, sales is 1, customer support is 2, mid-market is 3. When we do this, our SpokePhone application automatically creates an IVR in the backend with Twilio text-to-speech. I do have an audio library on the left if you want to go and custom record an audio and upload the file in here. And under audio library selections, you can see main company greeting. That is the one that will come through. So let me change this to the normal Spoke default, which is Twilio text-to-speech. And I'm going to open our office hours quickly. Okay. Now let me go put the call, the phone number that we just used. I'm going to go manage numbers. I'm going to go find that exact number, but instead of setting it to a call group or setting it to myself as the user, I'm actually going to assign this to the Spoke attendant IVR. If you assign a number to the Spoke attendant IVR, whatever caller presses option you have on those call groups, it will adhere to that. So my expectation is when I make a call, it's going to say, thank you for calling ABC Heating, which is our company name. Then I'm going to go other and advanced. I just want to see if we have extension dialing turned on. Allow callers to dial by extension. Under the other advanced and other tab, it is on. So my expectation when I call in is, it's going to say, thank you for calling ABC Heating. If you know the person's extension that you're trying to dial, or please dial it now, and then it's going to go through my call groups, and it's going to start and go through my options. So my expectation will be for sales, press 1, for support, press 2, for mid-market sales, press 3, for anything else, press 0. Let me phone this number and see what we get. So 727. Sorry, let me just go get the whole number again. It's already left me. 727-378-9475, and I'll put this on speaker.
Welcome to ABC Heating Company, and thanks for calling. If you know the extension, dial it at any time. To talk to sales, press 1. For customer support standard, press 2. For mid-market sales team, press 3. Or to talk to anyone else, just press 0.
Let me press 3.
If you're in a
I see callers coming to the mid-market service team. So this is how you can build an automatic IVR. And if you just go to your audio library and you can upload your audio at the top, and then you can load your audio at the bottom. Now this only applies for a single menu IVR. So your IVR has one menu, option 0 through 9. You can put this in. If you have any other IVR needs, like multiple menus, main menu, sub menu, then you have to do it in Studio, because Studio is a tool that we use to develop a multi-tiered IVR. But a single menu, you can just do it directly from your call groups. Okay, so that's how you set up call groups. That's how you give them IVR options if it's a single menu, and that's how you link phone numbers. So now let me show you how to set up phone numbers that you can use as outbound phone numbers. So firstly, my company has a phone number. That's the default at the top there, 0680. And then my user account, I just want to see if there's anything assigned to my user, because we did remove my DID. So I've got no additional phone numbers. So my expectation is if I'm not linked to any list, that I'm only going to have the option to see this number. So let's open my app and have a look. I'm going to go to the app. I'm going to go to my availability at the bottom here. I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to look at my default caller ID. Okay, so I'm linked to a list. That's why I'm seeing more numbers. So let's go other on the left menu. We're going to go to advanced, and we're going to go to our call routing tab. At the bottom of the tab, you can see allowable caller IDs. Okay, so let me delete some of these lists quickly. So we'll take that one out. Okay, so I'm not linked to any list at the moment. So my expectation, if I just reload this quickly, I'm only going to have the main number because that's my default. If I had a DDI on my account, I'm going to have that option also. So let's go back and manage my numbers and change that phone number back to my account, right? Because that's my direct dial ID. We'll change it to Leon. We'll say select, and we'll say save. So now my expectation will be if I go back to my app, I'm going to see my main company number, and I'm going to see my direct dial number. Let's go back in. Yep, so there we go. Main direct dial number. But what if I want to give you more numbers that you can use when making outbound calls? That's where the lists comes in, right? So let's go back to other, advanced, call routing. So I'm going to make a new list. So let's say add list. I'm going to call this webinar list. Save. And now the system asks me, what Annies do you want in this list? What phone numbers? So let me go select. I'm going to select a few numbers. I'm going to select 1, 2, 3, 4. Select. And then who do you want to assign to this list? I'm going to select Leon. And assign. Okay, so now my expectation is going to be, let me save this one. My expectation is going to be, I have a direct dial and I have the main number. So if I reload this list, I'm now going to have 6 numbers to choose from. These 2 plus the additional 4 that I just put into that list. Let's have a look. Yep, there we go. So it's the 2 still at the bottom, but it's new now because we've got 4. And I can set any one of these as the default. However, what if I want to use my mobile number when I make calls out from Spokephone, a non-Twilio number, right? So on the left, under phone numbers, you can say use existing number. So let's click on use existing number. It's going to ask me to put in the number that I want to verify. So let's put in my mobile. Please call. It's going to give me a key. So I'm waiting for the call.
Please enter your 6-digit validation code.
Let's put that in, 233161.
You have successfully validated your phone number. You may now use 173720218114 for your caller ID on outgoing phone calls. Goodbye.
Great. So congratulations, it's done. Let's click the finish button. So now let's look for our mobile 1814. So you can see in brackets, we tell you this is a verified number. So this isn't a Twilio number. This is like my Verizon phone number, but it's verified on Spoke. So I can use it to make outbound calls. So let's edit this one and we assign it to my user account, right? So we say, let's put this into Leon. So select, but also let's give it a name, right? So instead of my number being the name, let's say Leon mobile number. Okay, let's say save. So now my expectation is if I go back to my app, is to have 7 numbers, right? So let's go reload that again. Great, so now I also have my mobile number that we just verified. And now I can start using this to make dial-out calls and display this number to the customer. Okay, team, well, thank you so much. I want to open up the floor for questions. Jan, hand it back to you.
Thank you, Leon. Just as Leon has said, we'd like to open the floor for questions. Please raise your hands if you have any questions, and we'll be happy to answer. Well, but if you don't have any questions right now, but if you do have after this webinar, please feel free to contact one of us. My contact info, as well as Leon's public calendar link, will be included in the communication, along with the recording of this video as well. Thank you so much for taking your time to join us today, and have a great day, everybody. Thanks again. Goodbye.
Thank you so much.